Hello, this is Miss Shantae with Shaketi Ed, and it's Miss Shantae with Shaketi Ed. And today we're going to be reading chapters 3 and 4 from Ada Twist in the Perilous Hands. We forgot one page before. It was about the chicken and the egg. So this is what she drew inside of a math notebook. Now the math or graphic notebook is for making graphs, but it's great for drawing because you can look at the space and figure out how to make it more geometric and less abstract. So it is a perfect drawing, a perfect book for a scientist. So let's look at chapter 3 and chapter 4. Ada spent the next 2 hours reading her science notebooks. She needed to know more about air and gases and about heat and smells. Research helped her understand that scientists had already figured out. It gave her some answers to her questions and then led to other questions to explore. So here she has read, question, think. What are smells? What are gases? What is air? Air. What's up with that? What is air? Air is the clear gas that surrounds the earth. It is mixed of many gases, dust particles, and water molecules. Most air is nitrogen, 78%, oxygen, 21%, and other trace gases including carbon dioxide and helium, which make up less than 1/10%. We call the air around Earth the atmosphere. Gravity pulls the atmosphere toward the center of the Earth. That's why it doesn't just fly off into space. Atmospheric pressure is the force of air pushing against objects. Atmospheric pressure is highest at the Earth's surface because gravity is pulling all the air above it toward the center of the planet. That's a lot of air. There is less and less air as you travel from the planet's surface towards space, so there is less pressure. Sorry, a computer. I didn't know. Alright, it's like being in an ocean. When you float near the top of the ocean, there is only a small amount of water pushing down on you. When you swim at the bottom of the ocean, all the way the water between you and the ocean surface is pushing down on you. That is much heavier. What are gases? Gases expand to fill the space that is available. Gases expand when they are heated, and gases shrink and become denser when they are cooled. Denser means heavier. Gas molecules move faster when they are hot than when they are cold. Gas molecules travel until they bounce off other molecules. Then they change the directions and keep traveling. Diffusion is when gas molecules continue to spread out as far as they can from the other molecules. What are smells? Smells are just molecules that reach the special cells in your nose. These smells are called olfactory receptor neurons. When a chemical molecule hits them, they send a message to your brain. Your brain figures out if the smell is familiar, pleasant, nasty, or other traits. That's pretty cool. And look at her science notebook. She did not have to write it. She just had to research and cut it out and paste it. So that's something you can put in your science notebook too. Ada loved reading about air molecules and smells, but she wanted to do something. I know, she thought. I'll try to answer one question. Does a thing smell more when it is hot? Than cold? From her observations and from her research, Ada had a strong idea that she wanted to test. She had a hypothesis. Now, a hypothesis is an educated guess, right? Ada's hypothesis: if Arthur has 2 identical shoes, but one is hot and one is cold, the hot one will sneak more. Perfect, thought Ada. Let the science experiment begin. Status: project underway. So here we go. This is her notes. Observations and questions. So, number 1, I tested popsicles for quality. A+, need more popsicles. How many ants does it take to eat a popsicle? 127. Need more popsicles. Squirrels like stinky shoes. Gray squirrel equals fast. Gray squirrel plus stinky shoe equals fast. Gray squirrel plus stinky shoe plus scientist hanging onto shoe, slow. Mom hides popsicles behind frozen peas. How do ants find melted popsicles in a stinky shoe? Why is it cooler in the shade? Is all the shade the same? Did Arthur have stinky baby feet? Poor Arthur. It was very hot in Ada's yard. Ada had been working for an hour and had already tested her hypothesis 7 times. Each time she took notes, she wanted to try the experiment 10 or even 20 times to get lots of information to study. Time for her test number 8. Ada Twist put her notebook and pencil in her pocket. She pulled the bandana down over her eyes. She twirled around 3 times and stopped. This is her observation again. Okay, so she has the hot sun. Test number 8, the smell, the heat, the stink. Tennis shoes. Does heat make the shoes stink? Then on the other side, she has the shade and a shady cloud, and cool air because of the shade, the stink, and Arthur's tennis shoe and a cool ground. A faint stink reached her nostril. She took a step to the left. The smell was stronger. She took another step. Pow! A horrible stench whacked her in the nose. Zowie, said Ada. I'm on the right track. She took another step. A pungent aroma curled her toes. Double zowie. Ada took a step, then another. Then, BAM! Ada ran into something. What could it be? Oh, we have to find out later. I say let's read chapter 5, y'all, because I'm curious. I am very, very curious about what happened. I am so curious. I'm hanging on to my seat. Okay, so look, remember, she's not supposed to be touching Arthur's stuff. Things to do. Things to remember. Don't take Arthur's stuff. Smelly shoes, stinky stop, tennis racket. Uh-oh. Ada poked the thing with her finger. It was softer than a tree. Poke, 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 poke. Cut it out. It was noisier than a tree. Ada peeked under the bandana. She saw a pair of feet in the striped socks. She knew those socks. It was Arthur. He stood there tapping his foot and pointing at his shoe. Hi, Arthur, said Ada, taking off the bandana. Did you come to help? No, he said in a cranky voice. I want my tennis shoes back. Stop using my stuff. But you have the stinkiest feet, said Ada. She meant it as a compliment. Arthur did not take it as a compliment. He frowned and tapped his foot faster. Look, said Ada, holding up the notebook. The hot shoe is stinkier than the cold one. I thought it would be. She smiled hopefully at Arthur, who frowned harder and crammed his right foot into the cold shoe. Ick, yelled Arthur, and he pulled his foot out. A glob of frozen purple popsicle stuck to his sock. Why is there a purple popsicle in my shoe, he asked. Because we didn't have any red ones, said Ada. Do you think a red popsicle would make the shoe colder than a purple one? How could I do an experiment to find out? Ada jotted a note. Arthur rolled his eyes. He picked up the left shoe and 3 hard-boiled eggs tumbled out. That's the hot shoe, said Ada. The boiled eggs heated it really fast. Ada could see that Arthur was not happy. Maybe he didn't understand what she was trying to do. She tried to explain. The hot molecules go really fast and bounce around, said Ada. Then the smell goes like this. Ada pointed wildly this way and that and added a high-pitched zoop, zoop, zoop noise for special effect. And the cold molecules are slow, said Ada. She's pointed slowly this way and that way in a low pitch. Poof, poof, poof. Sound. But they're all silent, said Ada, repeating the gesture silently. And they're all way faster than my fingers. And they are really tiny. There's no way you can see them. And Arthur made an kind of sound and rolled his eyes. He grabbed his sneakers by the laces and trudged back toward the house. So, let's look at this picture. This is when Arthur found Ada and the purple popsicle. The purple popsicle. And this is when Ada is making her gestures. There were lots of smells in there, said Ada. They hit my nose, and then the receptor cells, and then my brain goes zowie. And here, I'll draw you a picture. Arthur kept walking. Your sticky feet were made for science, Ada yelled as Arthur reached the house. The door slammed behind him. Said Ada. Arthur didn't get it. Ada knew what she wanted him to understand. But when she tried to explain, all her ideas seemed to burst out at the same time, and then everything got jumbled. Why did that always happen to Ada? Ada sat beneath the tree and thought, why did all her ideas want to get out at the same time? Did other people's ideas do that? Did she do an experiment to find out? Could her friends Rosie, Revere, and Iggy Peck help her? Ada smiled. She loved working with her friends, and they always had great ideas. That would be a fun project to work on one day. The thought of it made her feel better. Ada went to her notes. She was happy with the results of her stink experiment. She had hoped for more data, but even with only 8 tries instead of dozens, she could see a pattern. The data seemed to confirm her hypothesis that the hot shoe was the stinkiest, but she needed more data to be sure. Ada was about to design a new hot stink experiment when a bird chirped in the tree above her. Uh-oh, Ada said. I almost forgot. It's birding time. Okay, so that's chapter 3 through 5 of Ada and the Perilous Pants. Okay, so as a scientist, there are experiments that you need to run. When you leave a shoe outside and it's stinky and you open it up, you got to take the shoelaces off. If you leave it in UV light, ultraviolet light, for more than 2 minutes, the stink will actually sort of go away because the sun will kill the bacteria that causes the smell. So, I know Miss Ada doesn't know that, but Miss Schuler does. It is a good experiment, though. I like the way that Ada put the popsicles into the shoes to cool it off. If she would have kept the paper on, it's an excellent idea. Also with the eggs, and how because it's more heat being created, the shoe had to be moving to create more heat. But it was good. It was also compact. So the best thing about her experiments is that whatever she has in her mind or whatever she thinks that could happen, that's what she makes it do. And the best part about that is that later on, when those questions are re-answered, then she will already have data inside of her head that tells her that this is right and this is wrong, or this was my mistake and this wasn't. So looking at this book and reading this, it will just always make you a better scientist. Also, let me show you what a math notebook looks like. Oh. If I can find one now. What is it? Where is the math notebook? I just saw it the other day. Okay, Miss Schuler cannot find her math notebook. I'll do it another day. But yeah, this is such a great book for conducting experiments and how crazy they can be. So anyway, please have a great day. And that is chapter 3 through 5 from Ada Twist and the Perilous Pants. Have a good day.